Hey guys, it's Avengel. Welcome back to the channel. Do excuse me, I'm a little bit sick today, but we're looking today at the American Champion Scout by Hangar Studios 713. Now, they released recently the rather fantastic American Champion Super Decathlon. Sorry, it's a lot of words there for me. And now we have its sibling, the Scout. Now, yes, all are from the same family of the 7 series, like the Stabrias, along with the Decathlon, etc. The Belanca have been building these aircraft for years, and later, of course, American Champion now produces them. Now, over 500 have been built as of 2008, and they're still in production. It was first introduced in 1974. Now, a standard version of this, with a 182 horsepower engine, has the capability for, as we mentioned, a 180 horsepower Lycoming 360, 120 knots max speed at sea level with 110-ish knots cruise, 43 knots stall, and down to about 360 nautical mile range. Standard. Now, of course, this version we have here, the Scout, includes multiple versions. We have tons of liveries. We have a regular tired 26-inch bush wheel. We have a 35-inch Tundra bush wheel, which is this one here, with the 210 horsepower Denali high performance upgrade. And we have an amphibious float version. We'll take a look at much of those today. Now, we also get in the cockpit a full steam, and we get different glass cockpits with the G3X and a 650 or the 430, or the 530 technically in the panel. Tons of realism and effects. Let's take a look at this aircraft and see how she performs. Most important part, yes, I do sound this bad. So externally, looks a lot like the Decathlon. But we get a fun belly pod, which is going to be weight dependent to invisibility. Now, it is FS 2020, so we haven't got the walk around features. But of course, we can still walk around it, which is the fun part. Decent texturing. It's a simple looking aircraft, so the textures do more than enough as Bob there walks through the aircraft. Now, inside, here we have our passenger window, which is a little trickier to grab when you are on the inside. But you can just click, there we go. The click spot's a little harder when it's open, but it's simply a matter of pop that open, and you're good. Side door can be opened, and or, should you choose to either jettison it during an accident or want to have it off, you can remove it fully. Now, there's a rather fun little feature down here. We have our tablet. We can make the pilot visible in the cockpit as well if we want to. No one likes that. Cargo pod visibility, cargo net visibility. That's the net back there in the back there. Back there in the back, yes. My English is good today. Pitot covers tie downs, and we can swap the GPS out for the 650, which if you have the PMS will be visible. Mine is not. Or a 530 there. No, it's that's the 430. The 530 is the bigger one. I'm wrong. Here we are, covers and tie downs. Weirdly no chocks, but there you go. Now, this was sent to me by the developer, Hangar Studios, just as a heads up, so you're aware of that. No. Bushplanes need cargo pods. This is a requirement. Okay, so we're ready to rock and roll in the aircraft here. Pop that away. Now, she's real simple to operate. In this case, our fuel cutoff is down below us there. We'll make sure our throttle is cracked. Everything is set here. Fuel pumped on. Fuel is in the right position there. That's cut off. That is on. Good engine start. Nice and simple. It's a very simple Lycoming engine. They're very trustworthy and reliable. Sounds are pretty standard for the sim. They're not a special sound pack, but they do the job. Let's parking brake off. Now, I'm running without head tracking today, because I'm pretty sure it will make me sick. I have Gamescom flu. I am very sick. Or something equivalent. I will tell you, travelling by air and dealing with airports whilst sick is an unpleasant experience at the best of times. Especially when you're having to deal with all the usual rubbish of airports. Customs, aeroplanes, everything else, and when your sinuses are inflamed, cabin pressure changes are a delight. As mentioned many times before, we're at Orbex's Bella Coola airport here. I will link it. Alright. So flaps are up and retracted. We're going to go for a bit of a stall takeoff here. So release power, Stick full forward. Tails up. 1 and 2 and pop the flaps. And we're up. Flaps up and controlled. Pull power. Pull some RPM. And we are good to go. Now this is definitely a bit of a bush darling in its capabilities. A bit of a sound deadening. Not a lot of sound deadening though with the window closed. But I will be honest, I'm going to want to fly this thing with this open. It's much more fun that way. We'll take on a quick circuit round. We'll do a sandbar landing. We know our usual one. And then we're going to go grab the amphibian. We'll fly the amphibian with the glass in the cockpit, for those of you who want to see that. Get both of those angles in there. Not going to fly the 26-inch bush wheel variant because the difference there is really smaller engine and the smaller tyre. And we all know bigger tyres and bigger engines are better, don't we, folks? Of course. It's just simple. The textures aren't insanely amazing, but they're also, in my opinion, more than good enough. I'm certainly happy with them. I don't see anything wrong with that at all. Some people prefer the photorealism of people like Addon. I'm not particularly bothered. These are sharp, they're clean, they're good resolution. That's more than good enough for me. And seeing that we get 3 versions of this aircraft for $20, I think that's a pretty darn good result, especially when you're getting clickable options on the aircraft itself and also things like the amphibian too. So not only 2 bush variants, which is, okay, a variant and a half, we are getting that as well, which is really nice. There's our sandbar, so powering back here. Make sure it props full forward. Speed's pretty down, so we'll knock some flaps in here. We're going to try and burn the speed down because we're a little fast here. Right, full flaps are in. We'll bring it round, gentle here, so a lot of rocks in that schoolyard. Little bit of a side slip there. Just lose some speed over the trees here. We're very slow now, but we need to descend, lose more altitude. A little power here to pick the nose up. This is a little harder without head tracking, I will admit. I can't quite see over the terrain enough. I'm going to slip her down here. Plonk her on the sandbar. Well, she's got 35-inch Alaska bush tyres for a reason. We used every inch of those tyres. I want to see the holes I've just left in the ground. Oh, let's get back in here and set the parking brake, because I'm an idiot that forgets to do these important things. Yeah, so we left some good marks there in the sand. And our touchdown point was about here. So we had a bit of a slapdash. No, a bit further back. I'm hoping there's a point where there's some massive holes from where we hit down. It's about here, okay. It's about here. Yeah, I could do shorter. Can't see as easily. Let's hop back in the plane. We'll get her in the air here. And hopefully we'll be able to go straight out. So. Whoa, God. That's a prop strike. Yeah, okay. I tried to go for the e-stall takeoff a bit too easily. And the parking brake is on. Is why. This is what happens when Avangel's sick. Avangel is sick and Avangel can't fly airplanes. Okay. Alright, okay. Pop flaps and back up the stick. Oh, there we go. And we're up. Flaps are retracted. And she climbs away nice and easy. And our airport's right there, so we'll slap her down on the runway and we'll go get the amphib and we'll go test her out, because whilst most seaplanes do very well in the current sim, float planes vary dramatically, so we'll have to see how this one actually handles. It should be a nice simple touchdown here on the runway. Nice and simple there. A little nudge of flaps, nothing too dramatic for this one. So when we're coming straight in for a nice normal landing, everything's fine. You can probably hear how nasal I sound right now. Now I had to fly back from Belgium 2 days ago, Wednesday evening. And I have gotten a bit worse since I got back. But being sick in a foreign country is quite strange. Oh, a little bit of a jerk there. And ease the power out. We'll hold the nose up here a little bit, round her out. We're going to touch down right near the concrete. A bit of a bounce, but that's okay. Well, not much of a bounce, but a bit of a heavier landing. Yeah, that'll do. Not bad. Let's go grab the amphib, shall we? And see how the cousin behaves. So here we are with the Wayfarer livery on our amphibian. Pretty standard. We've got a pair of whipline floats under the aircraft. We've got ourselves up on the pontoon there. Cockpit layout. Here's the G3X and the 430 in there. We've got a G5. Why not? There's a nice backup there. Stuff that's normally up here in the land version, I forgot to show you, is now down on the front panel. Simplified things. Put some more stuff on there for display purposes, I guess. And we are otherwise good to go. So we'll park and brake there. Now we have an anchor here, which is what normally we have water rudders on those kind of pulley and hooks. Water rudder down here, and our landing gear is up there. So let's give her a spin, shall we? Not bothering any flaps, we don't need it on this. Derate our power a smidge. Okay, speed's looking good. Ease back, and away we go. As you can imagine, a typical float retraction. Nothing dramatic about those. But I will say for the 2-seat type aircraft float appearance, it's not a bad one. I like the chunky silhouette of the American Champion aircraft Series 7. Alright, let's bring around here. Pop open our window. We do like a bit of a view. In fact, let's pop open both. We like more of a view than that. So, we're still pretty slow. 2 notches flaps. We're going to try and put down on the straight that's just next to the end of the runway there. Just off our 11 o'clock now. We'll treat this as our base leg in here. Did get a chance to chat to York and Seb and a few of the others at Gamescom. And there was some talk about improving things in the water. So obviously now when we do land bush flying, you have to look out for rocks and other kind of debris on the ground. There could be, and this is unconfirmed, but there could be a potential future where there might be things like logs or other debris in the water, meaning recce passes become quite important, like actual flying. Of course, those are very much down the wish list of items, unfortunately. Us bush pilots are a minor breed. Let's get ourselves in here. To drop and do it pretty quickly because that corner's coming up on us. About 6 knots, 7 knots over stall. Descending nicely. Not getting too much speed. We'll pick the nose up here. Settle the nose down. And, oh, and she's juddering a bit, which is kind of a standard, unfortunately. It settles out relatively well. Okay. Not ideal, but not unexpected. Now I want to try this anchor. Oh, wow, okay. Whoa, that's unexpected physics. Oh, I need a screenshot of that. That is unexpected physics happening right there. I'm not sure what happened there. We slapped the anchor on it and the whole thing just stopped dead. Wow, okay. So we're going to start turning into the wind, but we are holding position relatively here. How can I retract the anchor? I don't know if I can. I think the anchor just detonated itself into the core of the planet. Meaning we are now... Yep, see, we can steer with the wind that we've got and a bit of prop wash, but... Do I have to take the slack off the anchor? I'm not sure. Oh, we're spawning the devil again. Okay. Interesting physics event. Oh, okay. I don't know what's causing this, but it's hilarious. That is wild. I don't know if this is developers doing, but whatever's happening with the sim at this moment in time is stunning. I adore this. This is... I've just detonated the universe, I think. I will have to send this to Hangar Studios. That is phenomenal. Now, I'm not sure why I can't get my anchor off there. But it looks like rain dripping down the aircraft. It's wild. I don't think I can retrieve the anchor, unfortunately. So, I'm going to have to respawn us here with the anchor not deployed. That may seem to be a bug. Certainly one I can't find an answer to. We'll be back in a second. So here we are on the water again, and we'll go for our takeoff. Nice and simple. Give it a notch of flaps. Water rudder is retracted. Gear is retracted. Confirm all those things. The anchor's not going to depth charge universe. So we'll get that up on the step effect there, where the sim doesn't quite do it right. And this is the sim doing this. It's like, it's very hard to get yourself smooth, but you can. Okay, you can smooth it out, and then we can just about peel away. Finding that sweet spot is so hard without causing excessive, ridiculous vibration in the sim. But it's more of an MSFS issue than it is individual developers. Like I say, seaplanes tend to do it differently, and it might be to do with how many contact points there are and where they are relative to the reference location of the aircraft. But it seems like pontoon aircraft definitely are the ones faring the worst. Some are better, some are not. This is not ideal, but its lack of idealness is equal parts MSFS, I think. Although the anchor depth charge is quite a unique experience. Way too slow here. I'm going to try for a very tight turn in for base to final. Let's drop our nose down, use some of that to give us some speed. Sure, our prop is good. It is. Power on. Gear going down. Confirm gear down. Turning final turn here. Let the nose drop in. Very tight circuit event, this one. Power on. Okay, a little bit of a blip. Just enough to give us some interest. And she's very controllable, just like the Decathlon was. Let's hold this attitude here until we come down. There we go. Nice and simple. So, overall, nice little aircraft. I think it's definitely got some absolute serious legs when it comes to the bush flying world with the Denali 200 horsepower model. I mean, there are other competitors in that 180 horsepower, smaller tired variant, but the 210 will give it some kick. It's a good looking aircraft with some cool avionics options in there. Obviously, if you want the 650 or the 430 in there, you can have those. Those are available to you as options. Of course, there's two variants specifically when it comes to the G3X one. So you'll have to select the 650 separately from that, but it's selectable on the tablet if you're using the Steam cockpit. Otherwise, simple, effective, fun, cheap price, and I think a bargain addition to your Flight Sim Hangar. As I mentioned previously, I was sent a copy of this by Hangar Studios. That's not unusual for developers to do so. Just letting you guys know that's a thing. But this is one I'll definitely be adding to my Hangar myself. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!